Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I am gonna make my very first tutorial on how to make Transformers Mini Bumblebee. I've had many requests to build this little guy and finally it's here. Thank you for your patience and I guess it's time to start building. So let's get started. Before we start, I just want to give you a heads up that this little dude does not transform. Now, if you're having problem in getting the pieces, I can guarantee you'll find all the pieces necessary to build Bumblebee are available at lego.com at Pick a Brick, or you can also use Bricklink. It's a Lego based site that sells every single little Lego piece, and I can 200% guarantee that you'll find every single piece you need for this guy in Bricklink. So let's get started. To start off, we're gonna build the legs first. So here is the leg, how it should look, and here I have all the bricks. So you will need twice the amount shown here to build both legs. That's right, twice the amount. So you'll need two of these T pieces. But when you get to these bricks, you're not gonna need 2, you're gonna need 4. So make sure you know that. So yeah, that's just a little heads up I wanted to give you before we start. So let's get started. I want to start off with the bottom leg, this piece, and here are the pieces you'll need. Take a quick second to note all the pieces you'll need. So let's get started. First you'll need a piece like this. Then you need a 1x2 piece and place it back here. Then you need a 1x1 stud, black, that acts like a little wheel. Then you need 1x1 white flat piece that goes down here, which is gonna work as a back foot or whatever, a back support for the leg. Then you're gonna take the 1x2 flat white yellow piece, just put it right there. Then you're gonna use 1x2 yellow tile and place it like that, and that's gonna be his knee pad, knee armor. And finally you'll need a 1x1 cheese slope, yellow. And of course last you'll need this little hand, and put it right there. And that is how you make the bottom part of the leg. Now of course you may wanna double the process, and then you'll have 2 legs. The bottom part, that is. So let's get started with the second part of the leg, the superior part of the leg. You will need this piece, a 1x2 flat. Then you need 1x1 piece with a stud on the side. You will need a 1x1 piece with modified like a little hand right there. 1x1 flat, and another modified piece, but this time I'm using gray. And then a 1x2 flat piece. I guess you can call these panels. And there you have that. And then you'll need a little T-shaped piece, sorry. You may get these with city sets, Lego city sets, especially on motorcycle, because these are pretty much used as like little supports. You want to put that like that, And then you may want to double the process, and you'll have two superior leg parts. And then you just want to attach them like that and like that. And then you have two legs for Bumblebee. Now we're gonna build the arms. So these are all the pieces you will need to build the arms. Just as before, you may wanna double the pieces. And this is a cheese loaf. So yeah, you'll need two of these, and and all of that. And we will make two of these. And as I said before, you will need 4 of these. Since you need 2 to build one arm, you'll need 2 more to build the other arm. So let's get started. The arm is a little bit more complicated. I will try to do this the best I can. So this is the forearm. It's quite simple. You will need this special piece. It's a 1x1, but it has studs on each side, and of course one on the top. You will need one of these. I use black. You can use whichever color you may want. We want to put this like that. We're gonna take one of these hands, and I used gray. You can use whichever color you may have available. Then we're gonna give some armor shields. I'm using a 1x1 tile, black colored, and a 1x1 yellow tiled, yellow. And then on this side, I'm using a cheese slope, yellow colored. And that is it for the forearm. Yeah, take a quick look at that. Make sure this piece is on the bottom. That way it's not gonna interfere with the rest of the building. This is the other part of the arm. It's kinda complicated to build at first, but I'll show you how to build this. So don't get frustrated. I know you can do it. So first I'm gonna use this T piece. As I said before, you can get these pieces usually in Lego City sets, in motorcycle sets. So there you have that. We're gonna take 2 of these, put one right there, and then we're gonna take this piece, put it, yeah, and it may sound awkward, but you kind of want to build this downwards, or you can simply flip around and build it like this. And then put a 1x1 yellow stud right here. Then we want to flip it. And then, okay, so we are here. Okay. We're gonna take this little gun, or whatever you may want to call this, and let's see if I'm going correctly. Yeah, we're gonna put this right here, and last we want to put the 1x1 black stud that acts like a wheel right there, and make sure this can move up and down. It's just gonna give articulation to Bumblebee. And there we have the 2 second parts of the arm. Next, we just wanna add the forearms. And there we have it. And there we have it. There we go. We wanna lower these just a tad. Just a tad. There we go. And that is how you make the Bumblebee arms. So now we're gonna move on to the torso part. First, I'm gonna show you how to build the back part of the torso. That way it's gonna be way much easier for you. So these are the pieces you will need. Very few. You will need 2 of these, of course, and 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these. In this case, you are only gonna need what you see here. Yeah, you're not gonna need to double the pieces as before. So I guess we can get started. First, you're gonna need the 2x2 white. Why am I keep saying white? Yellow. We're gonna put these 1x2x2 pieces. They look like boomerangs. They're gonna go on top of the 2x2 flat, and they're all flat. So. Then you'll need 2 1x3s flats, and you're gonna put them back here, kind of like wings. They're gonna go like that. Then, let's see if I remember. You will need these 2 dudes. You need these two. Simply do that on both. Doesn't matter which stud goes on which. So let's do that. Then we wanna put them like that. The bottom piece goes right there. And then these 1x2 that have 1 stud on top are gonna go right on top, like so. They're gonna be the shoulder pads. And now we're gonna build the head. It's gonna be probably the simplest part in the whole building process. So these are the pieces you'll need. Quite easy to get. So let's get building. I'm gonna take this piece. It's a 1x2 brick with a little technique piece. These are usually used for wheels and stuff. Then I'm gonna take a 1x2 flat piece. I'm gonna place it right there. Then I'm gonna take a 1x2 tile. I guess you can call it a what's it called? A panel. And then, this is where it gets interesting. It could be considered an illegal building technique, but you can later change it to whatever you may want. I simply use this technique. I put the 1x1 cylinder right on top of that, and it secures quite finely. Then you'll need a 1x1 flat piece. Gray. Put it like that, and the corner must be facing you. So it's not gonna go like that flat. It's gonna be angled, and then you're gonna take this 1x1 flat piece, and you're gonna place it on top of it, like so. Then you're gonna take your back piece. Whoops. You're gonna take your back piece and you're gonna attach this right there. And there we already have half of the torso part. So next we're gonna go onto the chest. So here are all the bricks you need to make the chest piece. You need 2 1x1 flats and 2 1x2 yellow flats, and 1x4 flat piece and 1x1 flat gray piece. So it's quite simple. So let's get started. I'm gonna take the yellow 1x4 and I'm gonna add the 1x2 gray flat, just like that. Then I'm gonna take both 1x1s right there. And then I'm gonna take both 1x2s right there. Then you're gonna angle them like so. Have both tips touching each other. You don't want them to be like this. Well, it's up to you, but I personally like it to be like that. And then we're gonna take the chest piece, or half of the torso part, and we're gonna attach it right on these two studs. And there we go. Now by this time you can use this little technique. I like to use it. So what I do is I angle these pieces down so that this stud locks onto this brick. It sort of gives them more detail, looks more realistic, but that's just my opinion. You can do whichever you want. And finally, we're gonna do the lower body part. So you need all these pieces. Yeah, quite simple. So let's get building. I'm gonna start with the 1x2 flat piece, and then I'm gonna stack this 1x2 technique piece. It has a technique hole in the center. Then you're gonna use the 1x2 piece with one stud on top, and then I'm gonna add this little plate, 1x1 plate, yellow. Place it right there. And then I'm gonna take another one of these bricks that has 4 studs on each side and one on top, of course, and I'm gonna add it like this. So it's gonna be upward. You're gonna put it in. It may be kind of hard, but it sits in nicely. Then I'm gonna take this little stud, put it right here, and then I'm gonna take this little cheese loop and put it back here to give it a little curve around the back. Then we're gonna take the body, and voila, there we have the body for Bumblebee. So we're gonna take the other pieces we already built. So this is his arm that goes over here. Wait, no, I'm building this wrong. Sorry. I had the forearms the wrong way. Sorry. So yeah. Okay, I got that fixed. So we're gonna add the arms right there. And then the other arm is gonna go in right there. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Now we're gonna bring in the legs. And you can pull these down if you haven't already. And like so. And there we have Mini Bumblebee. Congratulations, you have just built my Lego Mini Transformer Bumblebee. So to make the little cannon, it's pretty simple. But here I'll show you how to make the mini cannon. You only need these 4 pieces. Yep. And to build him, we're gonna take this piece, then we're gonna take this other piece. I'm gonna stack these like so. Like so, like so. Then I'm gonna take the cylinder, and of course a little stud, and it's gonna go right there. And that's how I made my little cannon for Bumblebee. And what I do, I take the hand off, I add the cannon, and then I like to put the little hand right there. That's why I added that piece right there so it can hold the other hand when it's not in use. So yeah, that's my tutorial on how to build Lego Mini Bumblebee. Ouch. I hope it was good enough so that you can build your own Mini Bumblebee. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to be tuned in because I still got to review Ratchet back here, and Ironhide and Drift. You guys have already seen my Optimus, and just a quick heads up, whenever I hit 100 subscribers, I'll make instructions for Optimus Prime. If there was something you didn't understand in the video, please let me know, and I'll explain carefully down in the comments section. So again, please subscribe, like, comment, and share, and be tuned in for more Wolfpack videos. See you guys later.